Hi guys, welcome again to HSC Standard Math Hack videos. In these videos, as you know, we go through some of the ways in which you can score easy marks in the exams. And more than focusing on the solutions of the exams, what we try to focus is on what are the skills that you can learn in view of the past exams, the questions that have appeared most, and the skills that you need to learn to answer them. So even if a question appears in a different way, you are prepared to be in a good position to answer them quickly. Now, one of the challenging questions that, or the challenging topics, I must say, that has been added since the syllabus has changed is that of networks. And that's where many students struggle as well. And this video I thought I should make to help you understand that, firstly, they're not as scary as they look, especially if you know what to concentrate on and what to master. Today, the questions I am specifically talking about, they appeared in 2019, question 26, and 2020, question 26. Both of them had some activities. So 2019, 20 question 26 had a diagram given to you, and it was asking you to calculate the minimum time needed to prepare the meal, while in 2019 you had a table given to you and you needed to draw the diagram and pretty much answer, if not the same thing, the process would have been the same to answer the question, what the question needed you to answer. Now, what is the skill that you really need to answer these questions? You need to master the activity charts. You need to master how to draw this activity charts. And if you look at the solution of these questions in the past exam questions, they don't go into too much detail into how to draw these, but I'm going to give you a detailed view here. And what you need to do is, I'm not going to solve these questions for you here. You would need to see my other videos for the solutions, so I'll just refer you to them. So for example, for 2019 question 26, I've got this video. Here as well, I'm taking you through the whole solution by drawing the activity chart. And again, for question 26 in 2020 exam, even though this question in the solution is solved in a very concise way, I've drawn the activity chart for you, and I've shown you the whole process from start to the end on how to draw this. Once you have this drawn, these questions are pretty easy. Whatever the question is asking, once you have this in front of me, you can answer any of these questions. So the critical thing is to know how to draw these, and more importantly, more importantly, not to learn it from this perspective that, okay, this is the formula to do things, but think of it logically, what each of the steps mean. So I'll take you through those steps here. So if you go to topic 19 in Study Ninja website, 19.2 critical path, here I've explained how to draw the activity chart. Look at the example here. I'm taking you through, so I'll take you through now in this video. You're given this diagram, and you may or may not be given a diagram. You might just be given a table. The process is still the same. In that case, you would have to draw the diagram first. Once you have this kind of diagram, it's showing you what each of the activity, how long it takes. Think of it as activity A taking 2 minutes and activity B taking 2 minutes to complete, and so on. So first thing is draw these kind of cubes in the places of the diagram and fill them up. This part is for how long the activity takes. So whatever it's given to you, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. That's what I filled it up with. Here I've explained what each of the sections would need to have in these boxes. So we started with the weight. Now what we do is what is called a forward scan. That's what you'll see in the textbook. But it's if you think of it logically, it's not anything crazy. So this box is the earliest starting time. As the name suggests, this says what is the earliest time this activity can start. The earliest it can start is at time 0. It can't start before 0. So that's what comes here, 0. And earliest finish time, it starts at 0. It takes 2 minutes to complete. So earliest it can finish is in 2 minutes, right? So 0 plus 2, 2. Then activities B and C depend on activity A. So their earliest start time would be 2 minutes because they cannot start before activity A, and activity A finishes at 2. So this 2 will come here and here. This activity takes 2 minutes, so it starts at 2 minutes, it takes 2 minutes, earliest finishing time would be 4 minutes. Whereas activity C takes 1 minute, so 2 plus 1, it will take 3 minutes to finish. Earliest it can finish is in 3 minutes. Then you move on again. D depends on B, and B earliest can finish is at 4. So D can start earliest at 4 minutes. It takes 3 minutes to complete. So earliest D can finish it at time C. Now here's an issue. E depends on D and C. So what is the earliest time E can start, right? Think again. Because it depends on both C and D, even if C is finished at time 3 minutes, it can't start in 3 minutes at 3 minutes time. It has to wait for when D finishes. So the earliest E can start is the maximum of these two, which is 7. So you'll have a 7 here. So you have a 7 here, right? Then E takes 2 minutes, so 7 plus 2. Earliest finishing time is 9 minutes. Earliest starting time for F will be 9 minutes, and 9 plus 3, 12 minutes would be the earliest finishing time for activity F. So what we have done here is a forward scan. Now what we'll do would be a backward scan to fill these two boxes. So this is latest finishing time and latest starting time. So earliest start time and latest start time, earliest finishing time and latest finishing time here. So latest finishing time would be pretty much what the latest starting time is, which is 12 minutes. You subtract 3 from 12 and you would have a 9 here, 9 here. And so latest finishing time would then come over here, 9 minus 2, 7. And you'll keep doing the same thing over until you reach this point A. Again, you have a dilemma here. You have latest start time for C is 6. And the latest start time for B is 2. So B needs to start at time 2. So A doesn't have this luxury to start any later than 2. Because if it starts any later than 2, if it starts in 3 minutes, then B would get delayed and the whole process will get delayed. So between these two, you'll take the minimum value here. So it would be 2 minutes A needs to, latest A can finish. So it's 2 minutes. 2 minus 2 would be 0. Now you have completed most of the box. Then the last bit missing is this part. This is called float, and it simply is the difference between latest start time and earliest start time. So that's what's done here. 2 minus 2 is 0, 4 minus 4 0, and so on. Here 6 minus 2 is 4. What it's telling you is that you have a luxury here. That's what it's telling you. That even though C, you can start at time 2, it will take 1 minute and it will finish at time 3. Even if you finish at time 3, it has to wait. It has to wait for 4 more minutes because E depends on D and D can only finish at 7 minutes, right? So this is representing those 4 minutes, that even if you start C instead of starting it at 2 minutes, even if you start at 6 minutes, it will take 1 minute to complete. It would be ready by 7 minutes and it's not going to delay the whole process. So any node that has a float that is not 0 is not critical. Critical ones are the ones that have 0. So in this case, the critical path would be A, B, D, E, and F. And C is not part of the critical path. So once you know this, as long as you can master this activity chart, try playing with different kinds of questions, but make sure in all the questions, go through this basic approach of drawing the activity chart. Because once you have this full picture in front of you, you can answer as tricky way the question is thrown at you. So as I suggested, please do look at these videos where I have specifically solved the two questions from the past exam using the activity chart in detail. And if you'd like to practice more questions like these, we've got quite a few network questions in 20 mock exams. Sign up for these mock exams on our website. And please write in comments any other videos you'd like me to make. And also join our Facebook HSC Standard Maths group. Thank you.